Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. This literally will be the shortest live stream that I have ever done. Thank you guys for coming. Cope Doggy Dog is in the hizzy. Rights On is here. What is going on, everybody? Let me give the special for the day, and then we're going to jump right into Hendry, and we're going to talk about Hendry a little bit. I'm sick. I did not... as you can see, I'm sick. I look sick. I sound sick. I apologize. The special for today is if you purchase a trifold for $20, where you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. In the notes section, when you buy it, you have to let me know, do you want a extra trifold for free, or do you want a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards, driver and non-driver? So you have to let me know in the notes section. Chevy, Basil, how is everybody? I didn't want to come on. I've been too sick. I've been really sick. I'm fighting this bad, but I have to come on. We have to talk about Hendry. We have to talk. His name's Craig. We have to have a conversation about what this guy's going through. I have to expose this so that, because as you guys know, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so let's jump right into this video. How's everybody doing? Do me a favor, everybody. Hit the like button. Did you write down there that thumbs up thing? Just hit that real fast for me. You just started watching the video. Great. I gave you my special. You can buy a trifold, get one free, or you can get a cop card. Depends on if you want the trifold or the cop card. Put it in the notes so that my assistant knows what to put in the envelope for you. So I got the special out of the way. Now, if you would hit the like button and then do me a favor, type right in that comment section right there, OTVO. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Put it right down there in the comment section. And we're going to get right into all size hoodies are in. I'll be going to the factory to pick up these hoodies on Monday. So everybody, if you want a hoodie, hurry. All right, let's jump right into this. We're actually going to, before we get into this, we're going to cover Harvey Freebird. He covered Hendry's video and he broke down the most wanted auditor in America. So I just want to let you know, Harvey, this is Harvey's video that we're going to start off with.
Hey, can you guys step back behind that pole, please?
Behind the pole?
You keep recording, I don't care. Just need you back.
You just want me back up about 25 feet from the incident? Sounds good, man.
Craig, come here.
What?
Come here.
I don't want to come any closer to the scene, man. What's up?
Turn around real quick. You're being detained.
For what?
You can't. You're going to physically assault us because we want to see the clerk of court? Are you really doing this? Because we trying to see
This
the...
is how you try to talk to people?
Yes.
You fucking thug?
Okay. That's it.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh, my.
You didn't know this?
Yeah, I wanted to see the clerk.
He's got that control.
That's not
absolutely.
Not control somebody's facial with a legal order.
It wasn't a legal order.
As a matter of fact, I asked you to step inside.
You did. You did not. That wasn't a legal order if you asked.
I'm allowed to film right here because
If you film this, I will hold you right into court and
you can't hold me in contempt of court when I'm outside the courtroom.
bring him forth.
I'm not coming into court. Don't touch me, man.
I'm ordering the security to bring him into the court. Please.
No, do not touch me, brother. You don't.
This to me is morbid. The judge goes out of his courtroom to tell the deputy to drag him into the courtroom where the judge will have jurisdiction in his courtroom.
Want to touch me? If you touch me, that's going to be a lawsuit. That judge is ordering you something. You should not do it. I haven't even done anything illegal, man. I'm leaving.
Come on.
Nope. I'm leaving. I don't have to be in the courtroom. Guys, leave me alone. Guys,
I'm asking
I'm
you.
telling you.
I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, I'm
ordered by
leaving
the
the
judge
court
right now.
I'm leaving this. Hey, judge, if
Is your video camera turned off?
no, it's not turned off because they're detaining me. So what is going on here? Man, stop it. Don't touch my shit. Do not touch my shit, guys.
You be gentle. You're not in trouble. You gotta ask me to leave before you can trespass me.
Yeah,
I'm not trash matching. That's what are you doing while you're videotaping our parking lot?
I'm in handcuffs.
Right. I don't know what you're doing here. You're making sure that you're not doing anything. Right now,
What are you
you're
videotaping?
Just everything we can see from
Tyler,
public.
bro,
Why? That's why you're
you
videotaping.
need to come over here. He turned my camera off. I think he's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
do stuff to me.
Are you the camera officer? What are you doing? This is a jail.
We're exercising our First Amendment
You
right.
can't be this parking lot.
There's no signs that say that, so we didn't know. Nobody asked us to leave. What do you?
Okay, well, I'm asking you now to leave.
Well, I can leave, but I'm in handcuffs.
After you're done with this, you're going to be leaving.
You don't know what you're doing
this
right
is
now.
not a public lot.
Well, there's no sign saying that, so I didn't know that.
Yes, you did. You knew. You were going through everyone's cars recording stuff. Don't move. You were going
This
through
is
everyone's
battery,
cars.
guys. All right, if you're a supervisor, I'd suggest that you stop him.
They were looking through everyone's cars recording.
That's
things.
not it's
Everyone's
called the
license
plain
plates.
view doctrine.
They were looking at everyone's
It's
license
in plain
plates,
view
recording
in
everything.
public. We can see it. It's all okay to look at.
Call them director.
Yep.
What's up, everybody? We just watched a handful of arrests of Craig from CH and Ty Audits. And there's only a handful of us in this auditing community that have that many arrests just for recording and exposing government officials. And I'm in that group. He was recently charged with felony stalking for recording a public servant at City Hall. And I also have been charged with felony stalking for randomly recording the same cop 3 times over the course of a year. Coincidentally, I might add, which is not even a rare thing, because I have counted numerous police officers that I have recorded more than 3 or 4 times over that same span. But for some reason, this one officer thinks she's special. But this video is about Craig. It's not about me. One thing that I noticed out of all these arrests that we just watched is he was always with a group of people. He was never by himself, but he was the only one that was arrested over and over and over again. Now, why is that? He's real good at making these people look bad. They're trying to make an example out of him. They definitely have it out for him worse than anybody else in that group. So it's not about whether he broke the law or not. It's about setting an example and cutting the head off of the snake. That's what that's about. Now, what we're about to get into, this corruption that he uncovered, which is a huge scandal. I mean, he did an amazing job, investigative journalism, uncovering this scandal. You know, he went down to the City Hall asking questions about this scandal that he uncovered, and they retaliated against him with a bogus felony charge of stalking. And when he bonded out, they put him on all kind of pre-trial conditions, which I understand. I've had to go through the same process. It's ridiculous, and I don't blame him for not wanting to go through with it. But they locked him up yesterday because of it. You're not innocent until proven guilty in this country. And so that's what we're dealing with. And I'm just going to try to shed a little bit of light on what's going on with him and this corruption. Anyways, let me show you this shocking report that he put together that exposes government corruption. Without further ado, let's get into it.
If you sell this property to some developer or something, do you automatically record that to all of a sudden that developer is responsible from then on?
Yes. We give them a deed. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No.
That is the attorney for the city of Clinton in Indiana. And
So we're going to get into a few more things. Remember, I have a hard out at 2:50, so I only have 40 minutes left, and I want to get Hendry's story completely told. I want to share every single bit of his story that he's dealing with. And so let me show you another video here real quick, because this is Hendry's video. Forgive me, I'm battling this thing. I'm not very smooth today. I will be all right.
So what's going to happen if I don't give you my name?
Then you can be under arrest.
You are going to threaten us with physical violence. You better make sure you're willing to go all the way. 'Cause you can't.
The way the law works is if the law doesn't say you can't do it, then you can do it.
If you want to lock people up for not breaking laws,
all men are created equal is the idea that if it is wrong for one man to commit an act, it is wrong for all men to commit that act. Too often, members of our government exclude themselves from the ranks of equal men, referenced by Thomas Jefferson when he said.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hendry channel. Today's episode, today's live is going to be pretty short. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Obviously, today is the last day that I'm not going to be incarcerated in a state dungeon. And I want to leave you all with some words before I go. Obviously, I want to start it out by saying my court date is tomorrow, January 31st at 2:30 p.m. in Newport, Indiana. That's Vermilion County, Indiana. That's the Vermilion County Courthouse. And basically, guys, if you don't know what's going on in this case, I want you to go back and watch my last two live streams. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. In particular, the last live stream, I think I covered everything and got everybody up to date on everything. Ultimately, what's happening here is that I am going to make them make an example out of me. I'm going to show everybody through them what the state will do to you if you don't bow down to them for literally nothing. Right?
Okay, now there's a bigger story here that Hendry has uncovered that we have to get into, and I'm going to skip a lot of the filler. So he tells everybody that he's willing to go to jail. And so now, why is he willing to go to jail?
I'd like to show you all this before I go, because there's three options on this this piece of paper that the judge is going to have before him tomorrow. This is a pretrial violation probable cause sheet that he's got, right? And so I'm sharing this with y'all. I want to show it to you. I want to zoom it in a little bit. So he chose this option here, everybody. The last time he had this paper before him. And this option was the defendant is ordered to report in person to probation and shall meet with his pretrial supervision officer on January 31st, 2024 at 1:30 p.m., which is an hour before court or prior thereto, and then report every Wednesday thereafter at 1:30 unless authorized to report otherwise by pretrial. If the defendant has already reported weekly for a month as ordered, the weekly reporting may be immediately modified by the supervising officer at the January 31st, 2024 appointment. Excuse me. All right. So that's what he chose that time. Now, this is what he's going to have in front of him tomorrow. And this, if everybody can see my mouse, this is the option he's going to have to choose if he wants to send me to jail, right? Because the whole point of a bail bond, the whole point of a release on your own recognizance is to ensure the defendant's appearance at court. Well, I always appear at court unless another state agency has kidnapped me prior to court, right? So the first option that he would pick tomorrow if he wants to send me to jail is the Vermilion County Circuit Court will issue a warrant for the arrest of the defendant, Craig Robert Hendry, with blank bond. Who knows if that will even be filled in. The court further finds that the defendant is a threat to him and the community, and that the defendant is a possible flight risk.
Okay, so that is just so absolutely preposterous on its face. It is so ridiculously stupid. He is a known activist in the area. He's got a wife and kids. He has children at home. So to say that he's a threat to the community or he's a flight risk, once again, what are we seeing? We're seeing that government just makes up lies. Assaulting an officer when they attacked him. The judge is now saying that, oh, you're a flight risk and you're a threat to the community. No, he's not. No, he's not at all whatsoever. And then this video continues to turn and twist. And he's going to go to jail. So now let me show you another video here of Hendry. And this is his original arrest video right here that he goes to jail.
Okay.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh my.
You didn't know this?
Yeah. Okay, don't touch me. I ain't doing anything
Well,
wrong.
then shut up, and I won't touch you.
No, that's
Step back away
from me.
I'm not bothering you.
Oh my goodness. Why would you need to do that?
Why do I need to do what?
Anyway, why would you treat me this way? I wouldn't.
This man has given up on life. He just threw in the towel.
Why would you treat me this way?
I didn't
Treat you that way. You treat yourself so terribly, bro. You're trying to kill yourself. This guy's literally trying to kill himself. Look at him.
even talk to you.
You're in there videoing my courthouse.
My courthouse. My courthouse. So my courthouse.
What's up, everybody? This video comes from the channel CH and Ty Audits, as well as some footage from the perspective of Jim's.
I thought it was our courthouse. I thought that the people paid for the courthouse. My courthouse? Boy, he's gotten a little high on the hog, hasn't he?
City News, who was with him that day filming. This video took place in Boyd County, Kentucky. They are known for having some of the biggest tyrants around. And this video perfectly displays why auditors do what they do. With that being said, let's get into the video.
I don't think they'll be bad.
On chains.
I don't think they're going to be bad here, man. Sorry. Is that a law? That's a law?
I believe it's prohibited to film inside the building.
Where does it say that?
This is a public building.
Hold on. Can we get this figure? Is it prohibited? Is there like a thing up here that says it? Just want to make sure.
What all is in this building? Is the clerk of courts in here?
Oh, I'll empty. Yeah, I got no problem. Let me see.
Okay.
I just don't know.
I don't want to record anybody sentencing or court. You know what I mean? I just want to see the clerk.
Okay, you gonna get your supervisor here? Alrighty.
Why?
Why is it?
Why?
Security risk.
What?
Oh
Why are
no,
you-
I'm not a security risk.
No, I'm
Everything's about security and safety. Everything. Remember, in the French Revolution, when they were beheading people, they used to call it the Public Safety Committee, and then they would chop people's heads off.
I'm here. It helps
I'm a
with the
journalist.
story. Where it helps for my story if I can get good scenes, skimming the walls, showing the architecture, showing the trees and whatnot.
Okay.
There's not a security risk. That's
Okay.
nonsense.
Did you talk to our head of security?
No, we only talked
No,
to you.
but
You said everything was
you guys,
okay.
well, you guys,
Another one of you have someone else with you all.
I
He's right there. He was talking to our
okay,
supervisor.
okay, yeah. I'm not with him.
I'm
I'm not with him. I honestly don't know what the problem is. I think that you being employed by the county, the rules that you're paid to enforce are the laws with, regards to this courthouse. There's no law prohibiting any.
Okay. I
any
just asked that
phone
you
recording.
speak to our head of security.
You can ask him to check in all you want, but as long as he is engaging in legal activity, he doesn't have to check in with anybody. Filming public places is completely legal. Tyrants like this are not concerned about security risks. They are concerned about hiding what they're doing. This is a massive red flag from the jump.
Well, okay. No, I just ask that you guys respect my right
I just wanted
to film in public and be
Yeah, it's
a
public.
journalist in public.
I
It's the
understand.
First
I just
Amendment.
asked that you speak to him.
Okay.
Prepared to just step
I
out and
actually
speak
don't
to
have
him
an
for a
interest. I don't
minute?
have an interest to speak with him.
Okay.
It's not against the law
Yeah.
to do what I'm doing.
It's not
I'm
okay to
like,
go through
I don't know what
security
else
and
to
see the
say.
Clerk of courts.
I don't know why
That's
it's so
not okay?
difficult to let a camera in.
Why would you sequester the clerk of courts so the public can't?
Where they're talking over there. That's
Hi. Did you just say we want to cause problems, man?
Oh no, no! I just want.
You did, didn't you? You did. I just got it on camera,
Yeah.
dude. We don't want to
No,
cause
we-
problems. I'm a private journalist. Well,
Why
why?
can't we talk right
I'd
here?
like to talk to you.
Okay, we can talk right here,
There's
man.
business going on here. Let's go.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
here.
Well, there's business going.
Don't move your feet. Don't move your feet. If you move your feet, that is the battle right now. they're going to tell you, look at Indiana passed a law. You have to be 25 feet away. Why is that? So that they can hide behind the car. A car's only 8 feet wide. Why? How come you have to go behind the car? So that you can't see what the cops are doing. Same thing here. They're going to arrest him anyway. Don't move your feet. You put your feet down and you say, this is a public space. I'm not moving. You do whatever you're going to do.
Hang on. I don't know what this is all about, guys. What do you mean now? Is that an order? Is that an order?
Let's go out here. Yes, it is.
Okay, what's going to happen?
Yes, it is.
That's up to you.
No, it isn't. I'm not going to force you to violate me. I have a right to be here.
Exactly.
Go outside here. We'll talk about
Hey, you can't. You're going to physically assault us because we want to see the clerk
There it
of
is.
court?
He's assaulting him.
Are you really doing this? Because we trying to see the
This is how you
clerk.
try to talk to people? You fucking thug.
He shows that he's a thug. He's showing he's a thug.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh my.
You getting all this?
Yeah, I wanted to see the clerk.
This guy's out of control.
Yes, you were seeing this correctly. This man got put in
So surely that's what this is about, right? Then this is surely about he was in a restricted place. He did something wrong. That's what this whole thing is about, right? Him being arrested and charged with a felony is about him filming, right? Wrong. That's not what this is about at all. What this is about actually is that Craig has exposed.
But
So this is when he just
received a Gmail.
He just got out of jail, and we're going to jump ahead to the video right here.
I'm going to share the screen again. Oh, we got it right.
This is what it's
so
about. This is what it's actually about.
Boom.
Watch what he uncovers here. Watch what he reveals here.
All right. So I need to make sure that the audio is on. Let's see. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the second video here, the secondary video?
Can't hear it yet, Henry.
Get that.
From then on, not going on.
Share the audio. It should be good.
There's no building not going on the city property from then on. Record that to all this property, some developers. Do you automatically record that to also that developer is responsible from then on?
Yes. We give them a deed. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No.
That is the attorney for the city of Clinton in Indiana.
This is what this is about. Just wait what he reveals here.
And everything you just heard him say was an absolute lie. He is currently being questioned by Vermilion County Commissioner Tim Yoakum.
My question is, has the city had anyone build units on their property before the...
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
The commissioner is asking about these properties. The houses on them were built by contractor Timothy Cottrell, while the city still owned the properties. This allowed the contractor to avoid the cost of such inconveniences as buying the land and paying property taxes, which is probably why Scott Craig is feigning ignorance about them. But he then claims to be knowledgeable about the very area that all this happened on.
That area down around Feather.
I want to jump in and say that what I did was I actually pointed out in this video official misconduct. The mayor was providing favors to his friend, and it was contrary to zoning law in Indiana, which is a crime. I believe it's a felony. And yeah, instead of charging the people that I provided proof committed a crime, they charged me with stalking the person I did the report on, or a person close to the person I did a report on. And I'm going to go into more detail and explain a charge with the public
paying their taxes on them because there's a lot.
We're going to go ahead and
Okay, so the city attorney here is working with the council members to fleece the public.
keep watching.
Creek and Clinton. There's a lot of parcels down there, and most people weren't paying their taxes on them because they were worthless parcels of land. So we had a lot concentrated there in that North 6th Street, North 7th Street, Water Street, or not Water Street, North Street area. Most of those now have either been gone through the tax sale. There's a couple people who still live down there, and they do pay their taxes.
So he is aware of the properties, but at the same time, unaware of them. Now, I'm sure you all are thinking, why does this matter? If government officials are speaking, most often they are lying. As true as this lie affects real people and also shows to an extent the lack of accountability for government officials and their close friends. Let me give you some background. In the early 2000s, a man named Kevin Kiger bought almost a whole 2 blocks of properties with the hope of building a home for himself and his offspring. When Kevin went to the city to get a building permit, he was told by Mayor Jack Guilfoyle and 2 of the mayor's predecessors that he would not be able to get a permit for that land because it is in a flood zone. After Kevin realized that he would not be legally allowed to erect a building on his own property, he judged that the property was worthless to him. As a result, Kevin stopped paying property taxes on the now worthless land. The city then took the property from Kevin for delinquent taxes and allowed Timothy Cottrell, a local contractor and friend of the mayor's, to start construction on the same property they just told Kevin he couldn't construct on. On top of that, they let the mayor's friend build while the city still owned the property, which allowed the mayor's friend to avoid property taxes and possibly liability, contrary to the lies attorney Scott Craig told at the county commission.
This is the deal. Here it is at 21 minutes and 30 seconds into this video, 21 minutes and 30 seconds. This is the reason why they're persecuting him. This is the reason why they're prosecuting him. The jackboot thug pigs who arrested him, that's one thing. They're following the orders or getting the green light from who are they getting the green light from?
Taxes and allowed Timothy. After Kevin realized that he would not be legally allowed to erect a building on his own property.
One guy who owned the property, he wasn't allowed to build buildings.
He judged that the property was worthless to him.
He judged the property was worthless to him. The guy who owned the building and wanted to build houses on it.
As a result, Kevin stopped paying property taxes on the now worthless land. The city then took the property.
He stopped paying taxes because the city wouldn't let him build on it. So he stopped paying the taxes. And if you stop paying the taxes on your property, the government steals your property.
From Kevin for delinquent taxes and allowed Timothy Cottrell, a local contractor and friend of the mayor.
Timothy Cottrell, a local contractor and friend of the mayor. So now we know that the mayor is the one who's persecuting and making sure that Craig gets prosecuted. It has nothing to do with his activism. He's exposed them. He's exposed the corruption.
To start construction on the same property they just told Kevin he couldn't construct on. On top of that, they let the mayor's friend build while the city still owned the property, which allowed the mayor's friend to avoid property taxes and possibly liability, contrary to the lies attorney Scott Craig told at the county commissioners meeting.
If you sell this property to some developer or something, do you automatically record that to all of a sudden that developer is responsible from then on?
Yes. We give them a deed. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No.
Let's get into the...
They're lying. He's lying out loud. And look who's sitting in the front row with the camera exposing it all. There's Craig. And now all those officials, all those people who are all involved in the money grab, the scamming, the mayor. Now this man becomes a target for showing us with his camera and microphone what they're doing. And once again, allow me to point out what the $1 million difference is today. It is very, very simple. It is your camera. It is your camera phone. I watched a video the other day. I want to say the guy's name was Goody. He only had a few hundred followers, but he was a local in the place that he was given the report on. It was in Florida, where a guy, the mayor, was putting hundreds of millions of dollars into building a bridge that would connect islands. Well, he owned the event planning stadium on the island. What do you call it when the bands come through and he plays bands there? And the guy was exposing it, but he never took his camera and went there. Look where Craig is. He's sitting in the front row. He brought his camera out there. This is how you do it. You show up. It's right there, everybody. Take a look at it. It looks like this right here. See that right there? This is your game changer. Now, listen, you need your trifold. You got to have your trifold. You got to say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And how do you get accountability? Follow it up with your camera right behind it. Your camera phone is the invention of the 21st century. There's no more important invention for freedom, for liberty, for transparency than your smart camera phone. This always comes on. If this phone isn't coming on every time you're in a situation, then you're making the mistake. You're not taking advantage of the 21st century technology. That's your fault. You're failing yourself. Do you know how many emails I get that start off with "Chili, help me"? Do you know how many I get? Now, we're going to help this guy. We're going to help him. 100,000%. We're going to help him. Team DLZ, put a 1 in the chat if you want to help this guy out. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to help Craig out. If you could help this man, would you help him? Put a 1 in the chat if that's true. And why can we help him? Because he filmed it. Because he filmed it.
So, guys, then I go on and I break down the evidence that I have showing all this stuff. And if you'd like to go watch that, the title of it is "When a Small Town's Mayor Gets Caught in a Scandal."
Okay, Hendry, let's take a look at that. Let's go to Hendry's video. So we're going to look for when a small town mayor gets in a scandal.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back, City.
We
The city.
Not that I know of.
Now listen to this. This is the reason why. And who's the mayor over there? Who's the mayor? I want to find out who that mayor is. Who is that mayor? What's the name of the mayor in that town? Sorry, my phone's charging. It's dead as a doornail. I want you to watch this. Just so you guys know, I've already seen these videos. I watched them all. I want you to watch this. This is the reason why Craig's being charged with a felony. This is the reason why they're targeting him. This is it. Has nothing to do with filming in a courtroom. Has nothing. He was filming a public employee, and now they're charging him with stalking her. It's always the same, isn't it? Just bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
The commissioner is asking about these properties. The houses on them were built by contractor Timothy Cottrell, while the city,
After the other man gave up his property because the city wouldn't give him a bid to build his buildings.
still owned the property.
A permit.
Built by contractor Timothy Cottrell, while the city still owned the properties. This allowed the contractor to avoid the cost of such inconveniences as buying the land and paying property taxes.
Or getting a permit to build. And when you get a permit to build, there are several permits as you build a house.
Which is probably why Scott Craig is feigning ignorance about them. But he then claims to be knowledgeable about the very area that all this happened on.
That area down around Feather Creek in Clinton, there's a lot of parcels down there, and most people weren't paying their taxes on them because they were worthless parcels.
They were worthless? Most people weren't paying their taxes on them? You guys made sure that you ran those people off.
Plan. So we had a lot concentrated there in that North 6th Street, North 7th Street, Water Street, or not Water Street, North Street area. Most of those now have either been gone through the tax sale. There's a couple people who still live down there, and they do pay their taxes.
So he is aware of the properties, but at the same time, unaware of them. Now, I'm sure you all are thinking, why does this matter? If government officials are speaking, most often they are lying. As true as this lie affects real people and also shows to an extent the lack of accountability for government officials and their close friends.
That's what it's about. It's about Jack Guilfoyle. So let me just give you guys a little bit of the metrics. Gloria is a member again. Gloria is a sweetheart. Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate you being a member here. God bless you, Gloria. So Jack Guilfoyle, the mayor of the town, hires the chief of police. The chief of police then hires a lieutenant or multiple lieutenants, and the lieutenant then hires the staff of the pig shack. So what that means is that when Craig exposed Jack's little scam with Tim, how they didn't give one guy who owned the property any permits to be able to build anything, so it was deemed worthless, and so he just stopped paying property taxes and he lost the land. And now they allowed Tim, they seized the land back, Jack Guilfoyle does, and then they allowed Tim right here, Jack Guilfoyle's buddy, Tim, to build those houses. Does he own the land? No. Does he pay property tax for it then if he owns it? No. Does he get a permit to build? No. What about the plumbing? Does he get a permit for that? No. Does he get a permit with the foundation? No. Any inspections? No. So Tim just built those houses how Tim wanted to build the houses. Jack Guilfoyle, when Craig exposes the scam here, and what's the date of this video? Let me take a look at the date of this video. This is 90 days ago. Harvey Freebird's in here dropping comments. Good to see you, Harvey. So and now 3 months later, Craig's going to jail. Craig's being charged with felonies. What do you think's happening? I mean, I wonder what's really going on. 5 more members, guys. Hit up April. She's giving away 5 memberships. Thank you, April. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sick. Let's keep going.
Let me give you some background. In the early 2000s, a man named Kevin Kiger bought almost a whole 2 blocks of properties with the hope of building a home for himself and his offspring.
Kevin Kiger bought that land.
When Kevin went to the city to get a building permit, he was told by Mayor Jack Guilfoyle and 2 of the mayor's predecessors that he would not be able to get a permit for that land because it is in a flood zone. After Kevin realized that he would not be legally allowed to erect a building on his own property, he judged that the property was worthless to him. As a result, Kevin stopped paying property taxes on the now worthless land. The city then took the property from Kevin for delinquent taxes and allowed Timothy Cottrell, a local contractor and friend of the mayor's, to start construction on the same property they just told Kevin he couldn't construct on. On top of that, they let the mayor's friend build while the city still owned the property, which allowed the mayor's friend to avoid property taxes and possibly liability, contrary to the lies attorney Scott Craig told at the county commissioners meeting.
If you sell this property to some developer or something, do you automatically record that to all of a sudden that developer is responsible from then on?
Yes. Yes. We give them a deed. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No.
Unless you're friends with Jack Guilfoyle. Unless you're friends with Jack Guilfoyle. How do you say his name? Guilfoyle? How do you say his name? Unless you're friends with Jack. If you're friends with Jack, then you can erect the buildings anytime you want. Hey, Indiana, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I can't stand bullshit. You city officials, I'm not stalking any of you. When I show up there, I'm going to show the 2 sides. Here's Craig on this side. He's been filming. And here's the corrupt politicians and the corrupt police on this side. I got no bone in this fight. I'm over here. I'm watching from 2,000 miles away in Los Angeles. When I show up there, I'll expose all this. I mean, Craig laid it out. I don't need to. Craig is showing you. And now he's being charged with a felony, getting arrested 3 months later. They don't want Craig showing us this. Craig is a patriot. Craig is a freedom fighter. And we will back this man all the way to the very end. This cannot be accepted. Cannot.
Let's get into the evidence. We know the city attorney is lying about there being no building on city property because the property was transferred to Tim Cottrell in 2023, according to the county website.
Transferred. Just, I want to break this down, and I literally have 12 minutes left. Do any of you get property transferred to you? Put a 1 in the chat if you've never had a county, a city, a state, if you've never had any entity transfer a property to you. Did you get your property? How'd you get the property? It got transferred to me. You don't know Jack? You don't know Jack Guilfoyle? Jack transferred the property over to me. Transferred it, did he?
But Google satellite images from mid-2022 show that 12 properties were already constructed there. In addition to this evidence, the local news also ran a story about these very properties, in which Timothy Cottrell makes some pretty revealing statements about these properties.
And remember, this is state-run media. You guys know the score. You guys have all seen it now. Craig laid it out for us so beautifully.
Let's watch.
New housing is coming to a spot in Clinton that sat empty for nearly a decade. The floodplain by North 6th Street now has 12 homes with many young families living in them.
She's so chipper.
New housing is coming to a spot in Clinton that sat empty for nearly a decade. The floodplain by North 6th Street now has 12 homes with many young families living in them.
Oh, yeah. We now have lots of young new families living down there. Aren't you guys? Oh, yeah. It's great. I love it. Yeah. Look at how they're selling to the people there. Pay no attention to the men behind the curtains that Craig put his camera back there and said, hey, everybody, take a look. Take a look at what the mayor's doing with his buddy Tim. Take a look, everybody. And then the Lion mainstream media comes on there and she says, there's new properties with new families. Isn't that? And so, just by the way, if you ever worked in sales, and I've taught sales, I've been the leader in sales in so many of any company I've ever went to, whether I sold cars, sold diamonds, doesn't matter what I sold, I'm number one in the company every time. So what you do when you're selling something is you say, you want to get this iPhone, right? You want to get this? Let's get this iPhone for you. Let's get this iPhone for you right now. Here, just sign right here and get your iPhone. She's just, isn't it great? And people who are sheep will go, oh, there's new families down there, Bobby. Did you hear on the news? There's new families down there. They built new properties. It's a lie. It's a scam.
Houston's Blake Dahlia tells us how this project came together and how it'll help the small town.
Patrice Rondrell, a local business owner, and Mayor Jack Guilfoyle have one thing in common. They both say they want to see more young people live and work in Clinton. Now that business owner has laid the groundwork to help make that dream a reality. If you know Tim Cottrell, you know he's either working on roofs or building homes. He says he loves the city of Clinton, but a conversation with his daughter about the city had him concerned.
Well, it started with a comment from my daughter, kind of a negative comment about the city, and that struck me because that's our hometown, and I didn't want her to feel like it's a bad area.
Mayor Jack Guilfoyle says a lot of younger people are leaving the city, but says Cottrell is helping bring some back.
Just stop it. Just such bullshit. Tim Cottrell, the friend of the mayor who was transferred the land, he's helping us all. He's making it a more livable place. Thank God for Tim. Look, the sales job they're doing. It is such shit. I mean,
and I didn't want her to feel that. Well, it started with.
But a conversation with his daughter about the city had him concerned.
About the city you live in. Man, what are people saying about the city you live in, everybody? Listen to what Tim's daughter feels. Listen to what she says about the city.
Well, it started with a comment from my daughter, kind of a negative comment about the city, and that struck me because that's our hometown.
It's our hometown.
And I didn't want her to feel.
You don't want to feel
like it's a bad area.
Mayor Jack Guilfoyle says a lot of younger people.
Mayor Jack Guilfoyle says what?
People are leaving the city.
A lot of younger people are leaving the city. I got to transfer this land over to Tim. See?
But says Cottrell is helping bring some back.
Jack Guilfoyle said Tim Cottrell is helping bringing back the young people. Young people are flocking to Shittsville, Indiana. Because Tim Cottrell, we transferred him the land. That's why.
He's invested in building 12 houses on a floodplain near North 6th Street. He's building them to be flood proof.
I've been on a mission for several years to improve Clinton as much as I can.
Oh, you've been on a mission to improve Clinton? Really? How many police stations have you audited? How many people have you stood up for that were wrongfully prosecuted, persecuted by the pigs? How much have you've been on a mission to help Clinton by being a contractor that builds houses where you make money? Why don't we just call contractors service too? What do we say to these pigs? Thank you for your service. I was in service for 26 years. No, you weren't. You were a parasite for 26 years, just like Tim Cottrell. From now on, general contractors who build multiple homes and collect multiple rents, their service. Tim, when he retires, Tim, you got 60 properties, man. You're living on a passive income. Your kids will never have to work. Hey, thank you for your service.
I try to take the worst houses in town and then either tear them down and build something new or rehab them if I can.
That dream of making his city better came with a pretty hefty price tag.
Yeah, I don't know who else would want to sink $1 million into flood zone in Clinton, and that's about what it ended up costing. And I don't have $1 million, but I found a way. I found a way to make it happen.
Yeah, you were friends with Jack Guilfoyle. You're so full of shit, Tim. You're so full of shit. You got shit between your teeth, brother. Don't try to bullshit a bullshitter. You're bullshitting, bro. You're so full of shit. I've been on a mission to help the city of Clinton. No, you haven't. You liar. Put a 1 in the chat if that guy's lying. It's about making money, bro. You're making money. That's your whole deal. Scam.
He did not have $1 million, but he found a way.
Jack.
Perhaps some of the money he used came from the city of Clinton, as the city did admit to reallocating almost $250,000 from a project in the town to the same area that Cottrell built his housing on.
Oh, man. And now Craig's being charged with felony stalking a city official. No help is coming. The Justice Department is a joke. They don't care. We have to band together. You need to form militias on every block in this country. They're trying to ban militias right now at the federal government. They just passed a bill to try to ban militias. I'm not kidding. There's a bill in place right now. You can watch I don't have time. I literally have 4 minutes and I have a hard out. I have to go. But this is it. You're seeing it right here. Thanks you guys who joined new memberships. I really appreciate it. I don't have.
Also, when the properties were belatedly transferred over to Cottrell, the clerk treasurer of the city, Lori Kersey, appears to have never signed her name on the quitclaim deed that I have been shown, supposedly showing that she did not support these questionable acts within her own city government.
I don't know who else would want to sink $1 million into flood zone in Clinton, and that's about what it ended up costing. And I don't have $1 million, but I found a way. I found a way to make it happen.
One thing is certain. Tim Cottrell has never met Kevin Kiger, the man who originally owned and wanted to build on this property.
Initially, I wasn't sure what kind of demand we would have for them. And as I built, I had to take my time building them. I didn't have the funding to do it all at once, but as I built each one of them, they were rented out before we even finished them. So it really worked out well.
So now,
Oh, man.
thanks to Cottrell's statement, we know that he was renting out city property and presumably keeping the money for himself, which explains why the county government was asking questions in the first place. What we are asking is how they are allowed to do this to people like Kevin Kiger and get away with it. According to Mayor Jack Guilfoyle, the state has already looked into this issue and found no wrongdoing.
No wrongdoing. No wrongdoing. And now watch. This is the part right here. This is the part where I was literally screaming at my screen last night, screaming at the screen. I'll tell you what, you treat me like that in person, you mofo, you'll get my ire. You understand that? I can say anything I want, and I would have taken these jackboot thug pics. Watch what they do to this man. Watch how they just ignore him, call him irrelevant. Watch.
At Guilfoyle, the state has already looked into this issue and found no wrongdoing.
So we got all the proof in the world. Transferred the land, gave him $250,000, and then he collects for rent.
Mayor, why have you sold properties to a private contractor for an average of $1 per property?
Ask him, he's asked me that question before, and so he, you both got the answer. So did the state of Indiana. Yeah, and they said there was nothing wrong.
No, they didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, it's on tape.
The city attorney met with Will.
The city attorney said he swept it under the rug.
The city has never provided any proof that any building permits were
They just get up and walk away.
ever granted to Tim Cottrell to build in that flood
No building permits. Tim built it however he thought best fit.
zone. And the person in charge of the permits for the city, Kenneth Weininger, told me that Tim never got permits. What he got was permission. Sure would have been nice for Kevin Kiger, but the reality is that we shouldn't need permission to build on our own property. We definitely shouldn't be paying thugs like these for the right to own property. However, the moral of this story is rules don't apply to the rulers, only the rules.
Some may be asking.
There it is. Okay. And now what's happening there? They're charging him with a felony, putting him in jail, stalking him with the pigs. He's getting you heard Harvey Freebird. There's a couple hundred auditors in America. And those of us who are really good at it, there's a few dozen at the most. And Craig is really good at it. And now what are they trying to do? Charge him with a felony to put him in the dungeon. And they just put him in the dungeon last night for 26 hours. He's got children at home. Said that he was a danger to himself and to the community. Well, who told the mayor? The mayor told the judge. The judge put that on a sheet. And now it's on a piece of paper, so it must be true. I have a heart out. I have to get out of here right now. I got to go. Listen, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Felicia, good to see you. Patriot, AK-47. What's going on? April, how are you? Stomper, Gam, what is going on? Shock, Professor, Brandy, Sweeney, JT, Soup, KT, Derek, Morris, April, what's going on? Stanley, missed you. I'm always glad you're here. Captain, what is going on? Chevy, what's going on? Playboy, I saw earlier. Cope Dog and Dog was in the hizzy. Alan Hubbs is in here, everybody. What is going on, Mike? Good to see you. We are Team DLZ. Jerome, what is going on? Thank you guys all for coming. I really appreciate it. Share the video. We're going to help this guy 100%. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.